Today we discuss approximating eigenvalues and matrix algebra. Eigenvalues and eigenvectors decompose complicated behavior of general linear transformation. Eigenvalues and eigenvectors decompose complicated behavior of general linear transformation into simpler actions. Eigenvalues are usually related to vibrations. Objects like violin strings, drums, bridges, skyscrapers can swing. They do this at certain frequencies. And in some situations, they swing so much that they are destroyed. On November 7, 1940, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge collapsed. Less than half a year after its opening, strong winds excited the bridge so much that the platform and reinforced concrete fell into pieces. Eigenvalues appear in many other places, like electric fields in cyclotrons, a special form of particle accelerators have to oscillate in a precise manner in order to accelerate the charged particles that circle around its center. The determination of the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of a system is extremely important in physics and engineering, where it is equivalent to matrix diagonalization and arise in such common applications as stability analysis, the physics of rotating bodies, and small oscillations of vibrating systems. So, here we have discussed many applications of eigenvalues. For example, eigenvalues are usually related to vibrations. Objects like violin strings, drums, bridges, skyscrapers can swing. So they do this at certain frequencies. And in some situations, they swing so much that they can be destroyed. For example, on November 7, 1940, the famous bridge, Tacoma Narrows Bridge, collapsed less than half a year after its opening. Why? Because strong winds excited the bridge so much that the platform in reinforced concrete fell down pieces into pieces. Eigenvalues appear in many other places, like electric fields in cyclotrons, a special form of particle accelerators have to oscillate in a precise manner in order to accelerate the charged particles that circle around its center. The determination of the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of a system is extremely important in physics and engineering, where it is equivalent to matrix diagonalization and arises in such common applications as stability analysis, the physics of rotating bodies, and small oscillations of vibrating systems. Eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So, eigenvalue and eigenvector are hybrid German English word, and eigen means own or typical. In the original German, they are eigenwert and eigenvector, which can be fully translated as proper value and proper vector. An eigenvector does not change direction in a transformation. We can use matrices to do transformations in space, which is used as a lot in computer graphics. So if we want to know the origin of the name, so it's a German English hybrid words. mean is a mixture of German and English word, and eigen means own or typical. In the original German, they are eigenwort and eigenvector, which can be fully translated as proper value and proper vector. An eigenvector does not change its direction in a transformation. That is the property of the eigenvector, that an eigenvector does not change direction in a transformation. We can use matrices to do transformation in space, which is used a lot in computer graphics. So, what is the definition? Suppose that A is a square matrix, then the number lambda is called an eigenvalue of matrix. If there exists a non-zero vector x such that Ax is equal to lambda x, for the eigenvalue lambda, x denotes the corresponding eigenvector of matrix A. Again we repeat, suppose that matrix A is a square matrix, then the number lambda is called an eigenvalue of matrix A. When if there exists a non-zero vector x such that product of lambda and x is equal to product of matrix and x. So x is a non-zero vector. So if we multiply this number with non-zero vector, is should be equal to, if we multiply matrix A with this non-zero vector x. For the eigenvalue lambda, x denotes the corresponding eigenvector of matrix A. So here just observe that the vector x is in the direction. So if we calculate Ax is equal to lambda x, then Ax is also another vector, but in the same direction as the direction of x. So that is the concept. You can just multiply lambda with this vector, non-zero vector x. Again, x will have the length more, lambda x will have the length more than x, but will not change direction of x. So that is the concept, that if x is an eigenvector, then lambda x will also be an eigenvector, but in the same direction, okay, as the direction of x. Next is the polynomial defined by p of lambda is equal to determinant of a minus lambda I is called the characteristic polynomial of matrix A. The polynomial defined by determinant of a minus lambda I can be written as p of lambda is called the characteristic polynomial of matrix A. The number lambda is an eigenvalue of matrix A if and only if lambda is a root of the characteristic polynomial of matrix A. Number lambda is an eigenvalue of matrix A. Okay. When, if and only if lambda is a root of the characteristic polynomial of matrix A, that is P of lambda is equal to 0. So here we can keep in mind that if lambda is an eigenvalue, then lambda will be the root of this characteristic polynomial. Okay, determinant of A minus lambda I. Then next definition is the set of all eigenvalues of matrix A is called spectrum of matrix A. Set of all eigenvalues of matrix A. So suppose there are more than one eigenvalues of a similar matrix or same matrix, so then we can make a set of eigenvalues. So set of eigenvalues of a matrix A is called spectrum of matrix A and is denoted by lambda of A. The spectral radius of matrix A can be determined as rho of lambda is equal to maximum of value lambda absolute, where lambda belong to lambda of A. So now what is lambda of A? Lambda of A is set of eigenvalues. So an element of this set of eigenvalues will be called spectral radius if its value is maximum than other members of the set. Okay, so that is spectral radius. What is spectrum of matrix? Set of all eigenvalues of matrix A is called spectrum of matrix A and is denoted by lambda of A. And the spectral radius of matrix A is the maximum value of the eigenvalue from this set of eigenvalues. So to determine the eigenvalue of matrix, we can use the fact that number one, lambda is an eigenvalue of matrix A if and only if determinant of A minus lambda I is equal to 0. To determine the eigenvalues of a matrix, we can use the fact that lambda is an eigenvalue of matrix A if and only if determinant of A minus lambda equal to 0. It means lambda will be the root of this characteristic polynomial. So if determinant of A minus lambda equal to 0, it means lambda is a root of this characteristic polynomial. Or if we say that lambda is an eigenvalue of matrix A, then this determinant of A minus lambda I will be 0. Number 2. Once an eigenvalue has been found, a corresponding eigenvector is determined by solving the system. So if we have found this eigenvalue, once an eigenvalue lambda has been found, a corresponding eigenvector is determined by solving the system. So first we will find the eigenvalues. If we have found this eigenvalue, then we can calculate eigenvector as A minus lambda I into x equal to 0. Note that if given matrix is symmetric, then its eigenvalues are real. So if given matrix is symmetric, then its eigenvalues are real. Number 2, if given matrix is symmetric, positive definite, then its eigenvalues are positive numbers. So that are the results which we can keep in mind, okay, for preparation of MCQs or to remember the results. So the one is that if the given matrix or the system of matrix is symmetric, then its eigenvalues must be real numbers. So these real numbers could be this rational, irrational, in fraction, or any other way. And number 2, if given matrix is symmetric positive definite, then its eigenvalues are positive number. So if we are interested to avoid the negative values of the eigenvalues, so we must keep matrix should be the symmetric positive definite. But remark, for an n cross n matrix, for an n cross n matrix or for the n cross n matrix, which is a square matrix of order n, the equation P of lambda is equal to A minus lambda I equal to 0 is a polynomial equation of degree n in lambda, and so that it has n roots lambda 1, lambda 2, so on n. So here we can guess how many eigenvalues will be possible from this characteristic equation. So if it depends on the degree of the characteristic equation, that if degree of the characteristic equation is 2, so there will be 2 eigenvalues. And degree is 3, there will be 3. If degree is 4, there will be 4. So it depends. Next, the example is find the eigenvalues and corresponding eigenvectors of the matrix. So here is a matrix of order 3 by 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 3, 1, 0, 2, 2. So we are given to find the eigenvalues. So first of all, we have to construct the characteristic polynomial, which is A minus lambda I. So here is the original matrix A minus lambda into identity matrix of the same order as the order of the matrix A. So what is the order of the matrix A is 3 by 3. Order of the matrix I is 3 by 3. So we can make this characteristic polynomial. Okay. So 2 minus lambda I. So first we multiply lambda with this identity matrix. So on the diagonal entries, we will get this lambda, lambda, lambda. And now again in the diagonal entries, okay, we will get this 2 minus lambda, 3 minus lambda, 2 minus lambda. So 2 minus lambda, 3 minus lambda, and 1 minus lambda. So maybe there is a problem. There should be 2 minus lambda. So if there is 1 minus lambda, then there should be 1 here. Okay, or 1 here. So there is a mistake. 2 minus lambda, 2, 1, 1, 3 minus lambda, 1, and 0, 2, 1 minus lambda. So determinant A minus lambda is equal to, we can write is minus lambda cube plus 7 lambda square minus 11 lambda plus 5. Characteristic polynomial A minus lambda I absolute is equal to 0 implies lambda cube minus 7 lambda square plus 11 lambda minus 5 equal to 0. Eigenvalues of the given matrix are lambda 1 equal to 5, lambda 2 is equal to 1, lambda cube is equal to 1. So here two values are repeating 1 and 1. So finding eigenvectors, how we can find the eigenvector? We have to construct this equation again, A minus lambda I into x. So note that the difference between this characteristic polynomial. So what is the characteristic polynomial is actually, so this A minus lambda I equal to 0. Remember here, characteristic polynomial A minus lambda I, determinant of A minus lambda I is the characteristic polynomial. Okay, but to find the vector, we must have to write A minus lambda I into x. Okay, so that is the difference. So A minus lambda I into x equal to 0 gives A. So this is the matrix. A minus lambda I is the uh, matrix. How we have obtained this. So if we put lambda 1 is equal to 5 here, lambda 1 is equal to 5. So then we will get 2 minus lambda equal to minus 3. So now it is clear that there is a 2 here, not 1. So the here should be 2, not 1. Because if lambda 1 is equal to 5, then 5, then 2 minus 5 equal to minus 3. Okay. So now performing elementary row operation. So we perform this elementary row operation on matrix A, or even you can perform on the whole system because On the right hand side, there is a 0, 0, 0. So you can only perform this elementary row operation on matrix of coefficients. So that is enough to perform on the whole system. So then we have reduced this matrix into a lower triangular matrix. So this is a lower triangular matrix, and we multiply this when x1, x2 and x3. So we will get these equation x1 minus 2x2 plus x3 equal to 0, and x2 plus x3 equal to 0. Suppose that x3 is equal to a, then x3, suppose that x3 is equal to a, then x2 is equal to minus a, and x1 is equal to minus 3a. Thus, x1, x2, x3 is equal to minus 3a minus a and a. So, okay. Here are two equations. We can repeat it. X1 minus x2 plus x3 equal to 0. So x1 minus 2x2 plus x3 equal to 0. And the second is x2 plus x3 equal to 0. x2 plus x3 equal to 0. So you can make a supposition that if x3 is equal to a, so then x2 will be equal to minus a. Okay. And x1, these two values, if you substitute these two values in the first equation, you will get x1 is equal to minus 3a. Then here you can form this set of set of vectors x1, x2, x3. So x1 is equal to minus 3a, x2 is equal to minus a, and x3 is equal to a. So then you can just take a common minus a, and your vector will be 3, 1, minus 1. And if a is a constant or variable, so then this will generate many vectors. If, for example, if a is equal to minus 1, you will get 3, 1, minus 1. If a is equal to 1, you will get minus 3, minus 1, plus 1. If a is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are many vectors, the multiple of 3, 1, minus 1. Okay. So hence eigenvector corresponding to lambda 1 is equal to 5 is x1 is equal to 3, 1, minus 1 transpose. Scalar multiple of vector x1 are called eigenvectors corresponding to lambda 1 is equal to 5. So it means for a single eigenvalue, you have many eigenvectors. Okay, that are the multiple of this 3, 1, minus 1. Because if you change the value of a, you will get new eigenvectors. So that we can call it scalar multiple. Scalar. So just call this matrix as x1, the whole one. So x1 is equal to actually x1, x2, x3. So the components of x1 are 3. Okay. So that is when this x1 is representing this whole vector x1, x2, x3. Okay, not this single value. So are all eigenvector corresponding to lambda 1 is equal to 5, and they form a subspace of R cube. So because this vector has three components x1, x2, x3. Okay, so that is why they form a subspace of R cube generated by 3, 1, minus 1. So this, you see. So are the eigenvector corresponding to lambda 1 equal to 5, and they form a subspace of R cube generated by 3, 1, minus 1 transpose, which is eigenspace for matrix A. corresponding to lambda is equal to 5. Okay, so that is the concept of eigenvector. So here we can repeat this and then we will go next. Just reconsider this example. Find the eigenvalues and corresponding eigenvectors of the matrix. So this is a matrix, okay. To determine this is a matrix, or you can say the system of equation by which we have a matrix of coefficients. So to determine eigenvalues and eigenvectors, we proceed as follows. A minus lambda I is equal to, so 2, 2, 1, 1, 3, 1, 0, 2, 2 minus lambda I, this identity matrix. Okay, so then we can make like this: A minus lambda equal 2 minus lambda 2, 1, 1, 3 minus lambda 1, 0, 2, 1 minus lambda. So then we have evaluated this determinant and we will get this minus lambda cube plus 7 lambda square minus 11 lambda plus 5. Here 1 should be 2. So this is 2. There is a mistake. And then we have the roots of this equation. What are the roots? Lambda 1 equal to 5, lambda 2 equal to 1, and lambda 3 is equal to 1. Okay. So finding eigenvector, how we can find lambda for lambda 1 is equal to 5, solving A minus lambda I into x is equal to 0 gives. So x1, x2, x3 is a single vector of 3 components. Why 3 components? Because we have a matrix of order 3 by 3. Okay, so that is why we have to join this vector with the 3 components. Performing elementary row operation. So we perform elementary row operation and we have reduced this matrix to lower triangular matrix. Then we make these two equations: x1 minus 2x2 plus x3 equals 0 and x2 plus x3 is equal to 0. Suppose that x3 is equal to a, so then x2 can be written as minus a and x1 can be written as minus 3a. Then we have established this relation by constituting the values minus 3a, minus a, and a. So here we have estimated that the eigenvector is 3, 1, minus 1 and the multiple of minus a. So a is actually scalar. So it depends on the value of a, but the direction of these all vectors will be in the same direction as of 3, 1, minus 1. So hence eigenvector corresponding to lambda 1 is equal to 5 is x1 is equal to 3, 1, minus 5 transpose. Scalar multiples of vector x1 are all eigenvectors corresponding to lambda 1 is equal to 5 and they form a subspace of R cube generated by 3, 1, minus 1 transpose, which is eigenspace for matrix A corresponding to lambda equal to 5. GR, please send the attendance to me. So take attendance and send to me, Mariam. For lambda 2,
Okay, sir.
okay, for lambda 2 is equal to 1 and lambda 3 is equal to 1. So this is the, again, this matrix of coefficient, but just replace lambda with 1. So here, put this lambda is equal to 1, you will get 2 minus 1, 1, 3 minus 1, 2, and 2 minus 1, 1. So you will get a matrix of the form 1 to 1, 1 to 1, 1 to 1 into this vector. So multiply, so because these three rows are the similar, so you will get only one equation. So x1 plus 2x2 plus x3 is equal to 0. And then let x is equal to a. So you I have to suppose, you can suppose this x1 is equal to a, or x2 is equal to a, or x3 equal to b. So x1 is equal to a, then x3 is equal to b. It gives x1 is equal to minus. Actually, I think you have to suppose x2 is equal to a. So it should be x2. So if x2 is equal to a, so here x2 is equal to a, you will get this 2a, and then x3 is equal to b, you will get this b. So x1 will be equal to minus 2a minus b. So then you can write in this form, x1 is equal to minus 2a minus b, x2 is equal to a, and then x3 is equal to b. And you can write in the form of sum of two vectors, like minus 2, 1, 0 plus b minus 1, 0, 1. So it depends on you what kind of substitution you make. Here you can also take a similar way, that if you can suppose x2 is equal to a, then x3 is equal to uh, something like minus 2a, or you will get x1. But if you take the two different substitution, you will have a sum of two different vectors. In this case, we get two linearly independent vectors, minus 2, 1, 0 and minus 1, 0, 1, which are eigenvector corresponding to lambda 1, because lambda is in repeating values. Uh, Here lambda 2 is equal to 1 and lambda 3 is equal to 1. So that is why we have got these uh, two similar vectors. Okay. In this case, we get two linearly independent vector, minus 2, 1, 0 transpose and minus 1, 0, 1 transpose. So next is dominant eigenvalues. So let lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, so on lambda n be eigenvalues or set of eigenvalues of square matrix A, which can be written as Aij, okay, as n by n, such that lambda 1 absolute value greater than or equal to lambda 2, absolute value greater than or equal to lambda 3, absolute value so on greater than or equal to lambda n, then lambda 1 is the dominant eigenvalue of square matrix A. So here is the dominant eigenvalue. So if we are interested to calculate this dominant eigenvalue, then we can make a use of power method. The power method is an iterative technique for approximating the dominant eigenvalue of a matrix together with an associated eigenvector. So by modifying the method slightly, it can also be used to determine other eigenvalues. One useful feature of the power method is that it produces not only an eigenvalue but also corresponding eigenvectors. Since the power method is an iterative scheme, a stopping condition could be given as lambda I minus 1 absolute less than required error, where lambda I is the dominant eigenvalue approximating eigenvalue approximation during the ith iteration. Power method can fail if given matrix A has complex eigenvalues. So we can repeat this one. The power method is an iterative technique. What is the power method? It is an iterative technique to determine the dominant eigenvalue of a matrix together with an associated eigenvector. So if we are interested to find this dominant eigenvalue and corresponding eigenvectors, so then we can apply the power method. And one useful feature of the power method is that it produces not only an eigenvalue but also corresponding eigenvector. So that is the useful feature of this power method, that it produces dominant eigenvalue as well as the eigenvectors too. Since power method is an iterative scheme, so there should be a stopping condition or a halting condition, so which can be like the difference of two eigenvalues, consecutive eigenvalues, should be less than the required error. So if you can fix the this error as epsilon, then the difference of these two consecutive values should be less than epsilon, where lambda I is the dominant eigenvalue approximation during the ith iteration. So power method can fail if given matrix A has complex eigenvalues. So there is a drawback of this power method. So if the eigenvalues are complex numbers, then power method will not work anymore. So here we can take an example. So apply power method to find the dominant eigenvalue of corresponding eigenvector of the following matrix. So for example, we are given a matrix is 1 minus 3 2 4 4 minus 1 and 6 3 5. So to start computation, let 0 0 1 transpose be an initial approximation vector. So because power method is an iterative scheme, so we must have to determine or to take a initial guess or initial values. Okay, so initial guess is actually a vector, an initial approximation vector. Then ax naught is equal to, this is the matrix of coefficient, and we have to multiply this matrix with an initial vector 0 0 1, and then if we multiply this one, so we will get this a 2, and then minus 1, then 5. And here we must have to attract the highest value. So what is the highest value from this matrix is 5. So extract 5 or take 5 as a common values. So then you will get the uh, unit length of this vector. So unit length is zero point 0.4 minus 0 0.2 and 1. It gives the first approximation vector is x1 is equal to 0 0.4 minus 0 0.2 and 1 transpose. Now take this first matrix as an initial approximation, or you can say this improved approximation, and multiply again with the matrix A. So multiply the zero point 0.4 minus 0 0.2 and 1. So then if you multiply these matrices, you will get this 3 minus 0 0.2, 6.8. And then again, just take